Hey guys, Lux here, back with our blind playthrough of Stasis. So last time we got to the hydroponics deck. Man, I wonder how much more of this game we have to go. I bet we're like halfway, because there's these other decks that we're not going to be able to get to. And it's like, then, so we have to find his daughter. And then what? You know? Alright, so we've been this way. There's vaporization pods that way, and a locked door. This way there's bees and another passage that we can't get to because of the bees. What about this way? Oh!
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's some sort of insect.
Keep your distance.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Tied up? How big is it?
Okay, so when they were talking about the queen, that's what they're talking about. Oh, and it's a little happy smiley face, like it communicates in holograms. Okay, so large swollen milk sac, a mottled abdomen, swollen egg sac, or plump milk gland. Possibly all three. Okay, that's a little disturbing. See, they have some good ideas for this game, right? Like the queen that talks in weird hologram things. You know, it's interesting, right? The doing surgery on yourself. Handled correctly, I think it could have been good, but there's... I really think they need to, like, tighten their focus on tension and stuff. And there's 2 more games after this, which I would like to play, so we'll see. Okay. It's difficult to grasp the size and form of this insect creature. Udder-like protuberances sprout from its bulbous abdomen while the pincers stab the air, or pincers. Milk processor. This receptacle stores the processed milk. We have a computer terminal. Vines seem to be trying to pluck this terminal out of its wall socket. So far, they have not succeeded. Hardened amber. Amber trickles from the tree. Most of it is hardened into an incredibly tough compound. A tall, strangely shaped tree grows out of a housing space in the floor. Milk from the creature is being fed into the tree by a pair of tubes. This is very odd. Overgrown vines are no less dense in the room. Okay, let's try the computer first. Okay, hydroponics queen chamber. Activate suction pumps. Okay, queen's life cycle week 93. Healthy, docile, responsive to stimuli, milking as normal, no activity. Healthy, heightened aggression, recommend milking with only experienced staff, no activity. Healthy, highly aggressive, 3 personnel wounded, milking. Healthy, quiet, unusual, brooding behavior, milking normal. Healthy, aggressive, 1 fatality via venom pouches. Alright, well, I don't know if this will kill us, but we'll try it. Oh, it produced milk collection. This receptacle stores the processed milk. And again, you click on it, and sometimes it activates it immediately, sometimes it just walks you there. Okay, I don't know what we need the milk for. But keeping our distance is probably a good idea. Personal logs. Oh, praise God Almighty, I couldn't be happier. Dr. Gray took me to one side and told me I was the only person who had the skill and ability to take control of the nursery. He promoted me on the spot and said I was now personally responsible for the queen. The royal jelly she produces has proved to be incredibly useful. Oh, is that the milk? I discovered through my own analysis not only is the jelly an essential nutrient for the insect population, but it has other amazing physical properties too. It accelerates molecular bonding in certain substances, acting as a thickener for many natural substances while also regenerating their natural properties. With some engineering, I imagine we could turn this into a true medical breakthrough. I imagine doctors in hospital wards on Earth using our bonding agent to heal wounds instantly. Perhaps finally the Tenchu name... the Tenchu name will be revered in medical history instead of reviled. Thing is, most likely her, Dr. Gray would steal her accomplishment, but, you know. The Queen is a temperamental little thing, a fiery lady to be sure. Ah, but Queenie, you forget. I grew up in a family with more than one fire-breathing dragon. If I can handle my mother, I could certainly handle you. Ha! Although, when she is milked, she's rather docile. I dare say she's rather attached to me. I'm sure I heard her purring at me. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm aware she's a bug and all, but it sounded rather like approval. My parents kept hives of bees, so I've never been squeamish over insects, and I can tell the difference between aggression and favor. I'm still the only person who can get close without being bitten, and her bite can leave one hell of a mark, let me tell you. Hodgkin said he'll report his side effects upon his return from sick leave. In other news, Dr. Myrick, one of Dr. Gray's subordinates, has requested samples of the jelly for experiments with his tree resins. He thinks it might have a use as an industrial adhesive. This is a little way from my original intention, but I do suppose it's a start. I try so hard to be positive, to be the person whose enthusiasm never once flags nor fails. When you start hearing rumors that appall you to your very core, I try to shrug it off, but recently it's become harder to deny it. I've been hearing sounds from the elevator shafts, the sound of a wailing infant crying out in pain before suddenly being silenced. That is no rumor. Sometimes I lay awake at night and I swear I can hear the crying of children. I can't be dreaming. I sought Ingracia to confess my fears. He gave me a prescription to help me sleep, but something in his eyes said he knew I was hearing something real, and worse, it was something he was hearing too. More rumors. Dr. Milan is using children in his research. I have to ignore it. If it were true, Kane would remove him immediately, surely. Even Dr. Gray appears to find it an uncomfortable subject for discussion, and this is a man who slept easily when Isaac got his left cheek torn off by the Queen. Is Dr. Gray short of staff again? So, yeah, are they experimenting on staff members now as well? Once again, I'm being forced to manage multiple projects, only this time it's an examination of an acutely destructive new spore that seemed to have infected a few of the pods. First up, observations is a parasitic fungus that grows faster than a common weed. Like a common weed, I feel it should be destroyed. But I know Dr. Gray won't do it. He, like many other senior doctors, sees any new species as something to be exploited or weaponized. Well, they don't think it's a threat. That's why they're allowing it to expand. In the darkness, something stirs. I can't say what. I'm too afraid to find out what it is. When Ivan and Theo disappeared a month back, we assumed they'd somehow deserted. That was the official stance taken by Dr. Milan and the board, anyway. Last night's events proved there is something on board with us, though God knows where it's from. The Queen was more rambunctious than I've seen her before, and milking her was certainly more challenging than I'm used to. Edmund was assisting. We've been short of staff, and some of our volunteers are simply refusing to show for work. The Queen's environment has been disturbed a great deal, and so her violent tendencies are more pronounced. Edmund was on his way out of hydroponics when it happened. Something, pulled him into one of the air ducts. I didn't see much. I saw him walking towards the decontamination chamber, and the next moment his legs were kicking the air as whatever it was dragged him up into the ceiling while he squealed like a pig. I'm resigning tomorrow. I did not sign up for mad science. I came to Kane to serve humanity and clear my family's name. Not watch my crewmates to be slaughtered by a species that Dr. Milan refuses to confirm or deny. So, it's like, hey, I went to work and I saw one of my coworkers get dragged into a vent by some alien creature, and You know, I'm just gonna resign tomorrow, first thing. Like, what? Although, I mean, you know, like, maybe if you knew, I mean, maybe you know you're on some Black Ops, you know, space vessel or whatever. But, if it was me and everyone was, like, thinking it was normal or brushing it under the rug, it's like, I'm next. You know? Because if they know all about it and they're allowing it to happen, you can be assured that they're not vulnerable, right? I'm vulnerable, and, you know, so if I go and resign, I'm next in the test chamber or whatever. So it's like, if I could get, like, that's the point where, like, do I commandeer an escape pod or a shuttle and get out of there, or are you, like, truly boned because you cannot leave? You know what I mean? Anyway. December 3, if only I'd resigned when I said I would. Then again, maybe you resign and they're like, alright, get on the pod and go. Maybe that's how it works, right? And if only they hadn't ignored my demands to have the infernal fungus destroyed. It's growing over me now, over my skin. It's burrowing into my flesh. The insects attacked again today, and it seems to only worsen. Dr. Gray was destroyed by a swarm of them, and now he's only fertilizer for that ever-ravenous mold he was so curious about. The uninfected are making an attempt to escape. This doesn't include me. The emergency flares keep the bugs away. I told them to give me the flare to hold back the bugs so they could get away. I hope they escape soon. The fungus is making my head feel funny. I'm sure I can feel it growing through my ear canal. Okay, so we need a flare. A flare to get out, or to get through the bugs. But yeah, I wonder if the bugs were attacking her because she's, well, they're aggressive, or she's just contaminated. Azika, with the greatest respect, could you please stop the ridiculous pranks your group insists on carrying out in the fertilization chambers? I will admit they're hardly dangerous, but they are undignified. I certainly wouldn't like to be present when a cane inspector stumbles upon young Theodore racing in front of the queen, hands above his head while shouting, "I'm covered in bees!" It's unprofessional. Please instruct them to cease their foolishness at once. Kind regards, Dr. Gray. That's a bit silly, but okay. Akiza, don't worry, I don't think you're losing your mind. Ghosts are a possibility, but I suspect what you're hearing is perhaps the sounds of devices playing in other parts of the ship. I do believe at the moment the corporeal world and spirit world are very much divided, so try to calm yourself. If you would like, I could talk to someone in cargo storage about those sounds, but I wouldn't worry about it. This island is full of noises, but pay them no mind. For once I'm quoting Shakespeare and not the Bible. Get some sleep and maybe do fewer night shifts. Eleanor. Alright, so yeah, probably going to the queen. Probably gets us killed. Milk collection tank. These tanks exist to collect what is being milked from the brute. Okay. See, I thought it was manual, though. Whatever. Anyway, let's, so we have the milk. Let's try... I don't know, man. We need a flare or something. We can't cross the things. Okay, so it seems like he'll use it. Okay.
Vaporizer chamber compromised. Chamber is not airtight.
Okay, so I am supposed to do that. Do I... maybe use...
No, that won't work.
Okay. I was like, well,
No. Crazy.
I bludgeoned it before. I guess let's go click on the queen, see if we get something. Or she just kills us. Oh, she eats us. All right. Where am I going right now? My dude's just walking. Okay, so that's on there. The chamber's compromised, but they talked about like an industrial sealant or something. I don't freaking know. Can I get more milk? Maybe use the milk on the hole? Okay. Well, she's still happy, supposedly. Can I use the milk on the...
Maybe. No.
Okay, tree's been pierced in various spots by these tubes. As you watch, the milk travels sluggishly through them into the tree.
I think that would break.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying... Well, no, I mean, I'm trying to get the amber. I just don't know what to do.
I don't think this will fit.
Okay. Pull up the guide. Okay, hydroponics. Let's see. First use computer terminal. Hydroponics activates suction pumps. Get the queen's milk. Wait, next thing that needs to be done can be dangerous and deadly if not done correctly. When you move the pointer over the queen, you'll see it can be interacted with. Careless interacting will lead to the queen insect eating you, but go right next to the queen and watch it pinch her. Every now and then the queen insect will extend. Also observe what happens. When you see Big Red smiley, queen insect is in a good mood, and you can safely interact. When you duel, you'll rip off the pincher, or pincer, appear in the inventory as queen's pincer. Oh, come on, are you serious? You've got to be freaking kidding me. Okay.
That was too close.
Yeah, okay. Like, I get the queen's temperamental, but I feel like we're... That's kind of... I don't know. It feels wrong. Alright, we have the pincer. Pierced amber. The sap wells up as you pierce the amber deposit and slowly spreads across the floor like honey. It's pungent and sweet. I can just grab it? Okay. Alright. I would have never thought to do that. I didn't realize there'd be, like, timed puzzles like that. I thought it was just like, you know, the queen's animation, like, she's happy. I mean... I don't know, dude.
Maybe. No.
Really? What am I supposed to do with it then? Okay, bright yellow spot, hardened amber, get some pierced amber, get some tree sap, go back to the previous one, door on the left. Pixel hunting to find a metal plaque. There are two computer terminals, leftmost computer terminal. Look a bit left, a bit up. There's a metal plaque lying against the wall, partially behind the plants. Are you kidding me? Pick the metal plaque up. Okay. Vaporizer pad right from the rightmost computer terminal. Crack glass. Use tree sap on the metal plaque to get a metal plaque with sap. Attach the metal plaque with sap on the cracked glass. Okay. You're gonna talk about this. Oh. Okay, it's not really pixel hunting, but it doesn't... I mean, I saw it, I just didn't mouse over it because I thought it didn't matter. A polished metal plaque is engraved with the slogan "Gardening, just another day at the plant." I get it. Okay. So to be fair, that does make sense, because, like, well, it's an adhesive, not, Okay, so now we're gonna use the vaporizer, but for what end, I couldn't tell you?
Vaporizer activated.
Pheromones or something? Vaporized queen pheromone. Do I use it on self? Yeah, I mean, I assume you go through here. Alright, let's save first. Yeah. When they said it's like time for pixel hunting, I was like, okay. I mean, that wasn't bad, but I'm just gonna pull up the guide again, because I'm like, alright. Okay, put the queen's milk of the vaporizer, rightmost, activate vaporizer, vaporize queen pheromone, 3 oxygen tanks, insect swarm, some fans. If you could try to go through, insects will kill you. Take vaporized queen pheromone, throw it into the fast... Oh. Oh. Okay, that's not what I expected. Throw it into the fast spinning fan, and the insects get killed by the fan. Open all 3 collection tanks. Release oxygen, create a fire hazard. Keep going to the right. Okay, well, we'll... Yeah, man, I wouldn't have... Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. However, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, this is the whole moon logic thing coming in, right? The developers, they leave clues that to them make sense because they know the solution to the problem, right? They're approaching it from the other side. You know, it's like looking at a stop sign from the back, or looking at maybe just a regular square sign, like a street sign. You don't know what it says because you're looking at it from behind, but the people on the other side do. So, I mean, that's kind of the... Anyway.
Oxygen levels increasing.
Yeah, I just...
Warning. Oxygen levels increasing to dangerous levels.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't feel bad about using the guide at all, because I'm just like... I hate the...
Oxygen levels pose a fire hazard. CSEC has been notified.
Is that good?
It's beautiful.
Was that another...
The oxygen garden's my favourite part of any ship. Green, full, natural.
This is beautiful. The skulls and the corpses and all that stuff. Like... Okay, I would have thought the previous room was beautiful. Or maybe the one before that. This has like muddy water with bodies in it, and you know what I mean? Like, There's corpses. There's multiple corpses, and he's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." I'm like, "Are we?" You know, like, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Okay, fire hazard. Yay. We got more fans. More fans. Moisture dripping down the walls. Condensation not collected by the pool covers the surface of the room, dripping down the walls, leaving the area heavy with humidity. Okay. Every so often, the overflow from this collection pool spills onto the human form below, anointing its face with water. You're talking about this one? Body engulfed in vines. Vines surround the body so completely you're surprised when you notice it still draws breath. Unconscious, this soul must have been resting here for a while, unless the vines grew incredibly quickly. Well, corpse, Marcos H. Valdez, Training Academy personnel, security level 1. Okay. Plants. Verdant plant life covers nearly every surface of the room. This bridge spans a pair of observation platforms. I don't think we can get up there. You almost expect to see some kind of simian beast shimmying along the vine. You know, I had a weird thought just now, but maybe it's like not just Dead Space, but also like System Shock 2, where there's the two warring factions, basically. Like, what if it's the plants versus flesh or fungus or something like that? You know what I mean? Or natural versus unnatural. I don't know. Anyway. Corpse, Frank Fleury, bartender, security level 0. I don't quite know what I'm looking at here, but apparently I can go this way. I don't see how. Okay, let's click on the body. I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything. Oh, it's got a flare. Okay, well, I love that. It's like, oh, the person's still alive. Oh, they have a flare. Okay, flare gotten. Leave the person. I'm like, okay. We're I just feel playing this game, like this stuff, where it's like, oh, they're alive. Let me see if I can help them, because you can click on them, right? And he just takes the flare out of their hand. This is how I feel in life, right? Where I'm just like, one of the doctors I used to know, she said human was my second language. This is how I feel. I'm like, it's not autism, by the way. It's not. It's, I mean, child abuse, if anything, but unresolved childhood trauma, I guess, right? Yeah, because I'm just like, well, obviously we do this, and people are like, what are you talking about? You know, so that's, yeah. Donald Fryer, protocol officer, Groom Lake, security level 1. All right, so, I mean, we have the flare. I guess we go this way. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, again. Okay. Where am I? I'm here. Stagnant water collection pool. Algae has left scum over the surface of the water of this stagnant pool. Thick muscular vine seems to pulse with life. If it grows anymore, the metal supports beneath it will collapse. Planting. The vines form a lush carpet that covers the rough metal flooring. The thick muscular vine. Oh, yeah. Okay. Eleanor Way. Oh. She is encrusted with fungus and vines, a human nerve center for the twisting growths around her. Appallingly, she is still alive. Yeah. I mean, okay. Oh, there's a PDA right there. If I get close, will we get killed? Grayson Wendell, cook, security level 0. Ingo Godot, nurse, general science, level 1. So It seems I can't go anywhere else in here. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, that's the other thing. There's this idea, I think it's called conveyance, right? Which is the game telling you what you're supposed to do next, right? But they don't have to be like, hey, go here. It doesn't have to be as blatant as quest markers, right? Or like a to-do list or anything. Because there's plenty of great... There's like design philosophies you could follow that steer a player in the right direction. You know, in this case, thankfully, they've limited a lot of the options that you can do. You know, they don't have a whole ton of things to pick up, right? So you can try, like, let me use the queen pheromones on self. Let me try using the queen pheromones on bees. I would have never thought to use it on the fan, to be honest. You know, and you could... I mean, that's why, you know, you click on that, he's like, I gotta find a way to get rid of the bees, or whatever, right? So it's like telling you what you need to do, or giving you little hints. I don't know, but you don't need hints if it's kind of steering you in the proper direction. I don't know. They also could have set out to create a game that was like, that was maybe like a friendlier version of the old Sierra games. I mean, there's people that love those games. Those are extremely infuriating. But back then, that was like what was available. These days, that wouldn't fly. All right, well, we'll save, because that will help. I guess I'll save over this. I mean, she is the only thing I can interact with, so let's see if...
Oh, God.
Yeah. The fact that she's still alive, though. I don't know how much she smells. Are we gonna...
I could get you out. I could cut you free.
You don't have anything to cut. Well, empty. Emergency flare. I mean, I could use the flare on her, but I suspect we're gonna need it. Tell me about the PDA. Okay. Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great in loving kindness. I'll keep my thoughts to myself at the moment. Lord is good to all. I simply wish his kindness had extended to Chelsea. The galley chef told me a few of the other crew members are uncomfortable with having an ARG patient on staff. What is ARG? I asked her if her work was in any way below standard, at which point he grew uncomfortable and admitted exactly as I thought. No, she was a superb worker, but his team were uncomfortable with her anyway. Being a geneticist and a Christian may appear contradictory to most, but that is their burden, not mine. I believe in grace and mercy. It wasn't Chelsea's fault she was born an ARG baby. Oh, well, I don't know what ARG stands for itself, but it's probably artificially grown or something like that. James, my ex-husband, blamed me. James wanted her terminated, and when I refused, he packed up and left. That suits me. I'd rather be without an unloving husband and father than without my beautiful child. And she is beautiful, a gift from God. And for a ship full of the most supposedly forward-thinking people in the galaxy, their aversion to her condition repulses me. You know, the other thing is... So as far as Christianity goes, there's all these people that just like everything else, I'm not going to knock women necessarily, although there are more women than men tend to be guilty of this, which is applying the scripture as it suits them. So stuff like this, where in the Bible it says the husband is supposed to be, I'm not like super into scripture or whatever. I just know the general ideas, not specific scriptures and stuff about like this, but it says the man is supposed to be the head of the household. The woman is supposed to be under, serve man as man serves God, or whatever. So if the husband basically says, if the wife goes and basically gets, I don't know if it was pregnant or has a baby, what do you call it? Orders a baby, has one fabricated, and the husband's like, no, then she should have been like, okay, you're in charge. It's like the man is the captain of the ship and the wife is the first mate or second in command, right? Ultimately, they're working together, but ultimately, if there's a decision that has to be made, the man makes it. My personal thought is that's probably how it should be. I don't have any firsthand experience with this, but not being a woman after all, and also being middle-aged. But you look at societal health, and there's certain factors that you can objectively measure. You have a bunch of single women, and they're focused on their careers and not their family. Feminism taught women that serving your family is slavery, and working for a corporation that will fire you at a moment's notice is freedom. I don't get it. But somehow people believe that. And, and you look at that, and some more women than ever are single and working. And in addition to that, what you'd expect to happen happened, which is mental health for women has declined as more of them go into the workforce. And they used to have a 10-year lifespan, or on average women would live 10 years longer than men, and that gap is narrowing, right? It's a shock, I know. It's like men are in the workforce, and because of all the stress, they live lower quality lives and die earlier, and women are like, that's the life that I want, and they go and do it, and now they're more stressed out and more mentally ill and live shorter lives. It's like, who would have thought, right? But I'm not endorsing. People would be like, oh, you hate women, or oh, you're endorsing whatever, female slavery, women are owned by their husbands. It's like, no, I actually endorse freedom. I'm a bit more of an anarchist than anything else. You can make the choices that you want to make. Doesn't mean, but that's the thing. Everything is a trade-off, right? So if you choose to work, you choose to not, submit to your husband, you are free to do that. But those choices bring consequences. All choices bring consequences, right? And that's the thing. It's like, you cannot have it all. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. So that's my thing. It's like, I've made choices myself as well, and some choices, choosing some doors closes other doors. That's just how that works. Anyway, and I assume she was talking about her daughter here. Tolerance and patience are virtues greatly praised by the Lord, but aboard the Groom Lake I find my stores of both those virtues sorely tested. I discovered through one of my subordinates a new shipment arrived on board a few days ago, destined for Project Seed. My disapproval of the dangers of Seed are no secret. Considering the size of the shipment and the clear attempt to cut me out of the loop regarding the delivery, I suspect some of my colleagues are trying to mask the precise nature of what it is that has arrived. If it is as I suspect, there will be no, and I mean no, lengths I will not go to in order to depose Dr. Milan. Kane Corporation is a company for the promotion of the sciences, not for the sinister schemes and unprincipled ambitions of individuals. I have moral issues with Kane and their weapons research. It tests my faith, but Kane's medical breakthroughs have changed the world, and my world too. It's because of Kane-created research that Chelsea is even alive. This is why I do what I do. I work in genetics to find cures for my dearest Chelsea and others like her, not for money. It's my job to put these things right for her. Admirable. Admirable. I find people lie to themselves just as much as they lie to other people, though. So, and unfortunately, on average, most people are shit. There are some people that are saints, you know, relatively speaking, regardless of religion. And what I mean is there's some people that don't claim a particular faith. Oh, I see it a little... is that Saint Christopher? I mean, I think that's supposed to be Jesus, but there's like a sculpture. Protection of travelers or something like that. Anyway. There's people that are good regardless of what religious affiliation they claim, you know. But it does seem that many of the Christians that I've met, it seems like if you were to look at Christians as opposed to non-Christians, the percentage of shitty people would be higher within Christianity, I would suspect. Maybe it's changed lately because Christianity is out of favor, and so less people are, you know, the numbers are going down, right? But those people, the cancel culture, the virtue signalers, all those people, the just horrible, shitty people, they go to whatever cause lets them claim the moral high ground, right? So it used to be Christianity, now it seems to be identity politics, whatever, you know, that's the problem. So who knows? Anyway, I had lunch with Dr. Gray this afternoon. He is an odious little man and utterly misanthropic, but if you need somebody to talk about Project Seed, there are a few people who give up information more easily. Misanthrope means you hate humanity, which is fine by me. Roald Dahl was also a misanthrope, by the way. But I think that's just... people claiming you're a misanthrope is you... just means you understand people. Like, most people are shitty. You're not gonna be like, oh, most people are angels. No. His ego easily outweighs his sense of confidentiality. Project leaders and project members are not allowed to discuss details of individual projects, but he can't resist himself. Nevertheless, he revealed disturbing details. I'm aware of our sample origins. We need human genetic material in order to develop cures for human beings. It's a hard truth, but there's paperwork, permission forms, and contracts that create the supply. That shipment has none of those things. Right. They're children. Oh God, in all your great mercy, how could you let Milan, that unholy monster, do this? It's taken months, but finally I found a young cargo worker named Danica Boxer. Was she the one that died at the very beginning that we saw on the security holograms get killed? She was referred to me by Dr. Tenchu, such a sweet girl. It seems the cargo was a combination of adults and children, all of whom were acquired through illegal channels for use in genetic research. I did not agree to this. I'll leave this place and take Chelsea with me before I spend one more minute working for a company that endorses the use of children in research. There are not enough words to describe the soulless creature that did this. Revenge? I don't believe in revenge. Beloved, never avenge yourself. But leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Where is she? The creatures are attacking in full force. The screams are over the radio. They're dying. They're all dying. I can hear them scuttle through the vents, see the blood they spill and spray over the walls. Chelsea, Chelsea, oh God, please bring her to me. I'm trapped in hydroponics. Please let my little girl find me. Voice note. I can see Chelsea inches from me, lifeless. I contemplated taking my own life as she died just before my eyes. When those creatures attacked, the crew sealed off parts of the ship and I was left trapped in hydroponics. The fungus got to me and now it's inside, profaning my body. Its nerves wrapped around my cerebral cortex. I could feel it move. I try to move my arms, but it won't let me. It's making me watch the fungus consume my baby girl. I must watch and pray for the end to come, so then it does not depend on the man who wills or the man who runs, but on God who has mercy. Dr. Wei, your comments are most flattering. I suspect, however, a promotion isn't forthcoming. Right, so she was the one that wanted to... She's like, oh, I would second Dr. Gray if you ever try to take over Dr. Milan's spot. I suspect, however, a promotion isn't forthcoming because of the lack of attention paid to our section. Ignorance is frustrating. Ignorance is frustrating. Our lack of understanding of what takes place at the top of this food chain is of great irritation to me. You do seem to be pushing relentlessly for information about this cargo, though, and I'm somewhat uncomfortable discussing it any further. I fear I may have already said too much. For the sake of your career, my dear, I suggest discontinuing... Jesus Christ. Discontinuing your pursuit. You're a fine geneticist and are clearly one of the most talented people on the ship. Don't let it go to waste. Dr. Wei, I know you're a spiritual woman and at times receive a great deal of criticism for this, but I feel I could speak to nobody else. I'm well known for my positivity and cheerfulness, and I believe I've earned my nickname, Dr. Gray's Smile. I'm haunted by what I'm hearing on the ship and wonder if perhaps it's merely induced by my own fears. Oh, to hell with it. I'll ask you straight out, do you believe in ghosts? You may think I'm being ridiculous or delusional, but I can hear things. Children crying deep in the bowels of the ship. I work many late nights and I'm convinced I can hear crying through the vents. Where are these sounds coming from? I did hear rumors that before the Groom Lake was refitted, a group of children were brought on board and the quarters were on this deck. There was a malfunction with the heating units and, well, they all died. I don't want to seem like I'm wasting your time, but I enjoyed our talk yesterday and your open-mindedness about matters of the soul. Well... So what was the point of us coming here? Also, there's no, we haven't seen Dr. Gray's body, even though they say, oh, I watched him get killed. We haven't seen... Maybe I used the flare on her? Let's save. Emergency flare.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you end this. But you need to help me first. I don't need you to leave. I need you to crack this flare. The oxygen will ignite. Then you will die.
Okay. Oh, he's running. Okay, I was like, am I gonna get to run? Where? Oh, is that me on the ground right there?
Extreme external temperatures detected. Plug suit has regulated body temperature to benchmark level.
Oh, damn, it can do that, huh?
The fire systems just went haywire over here, John. What did you do?
I cleared the vines.
With a flamethrower?
Something like that.
So that fire alarm...
Fire in Oxygen Gardens 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. Fire in Oxygen Gardens.
Yeah, that fire
2,
alarm, that
7,
deet,
8.
deet, deet. That's the...
Fire suppression system activated. Warning. Fire suppression system compromised. Warning.
Shit, Oxygen production has been compromised. Are the bios still intact? Oh, God, please don't say burn them out.
Just the one on this level.
That's the only one.
It's caused a chain reaction, John. They're all going up. We have a time limit now. Hours at most.
That's
Get
okay.
my daughter right now.
Okay. Oh, let me just pause for a second. So my cats have PTSD from that fire alarm because the apartment I used to live in, idiots would set off the fire alarms and they were all connected, and yeah. So even if I was there, I wouldn't be able to grab the cats because they would crawl under the bed. And I couldn't, and the bed's heavy, and I couldn't get them. And I think I got them once, and I shoved them in their carriers, which they hate, because the carriers are now associated with going to the vet, and now fire alarms. So I shoved them in there once and took them out to the car, and we just kind of chilled out until the fire alarms stopped, which takes like an hour and a half, because the fire department has to come out and check basically the whole frickin' building. So, yeah, I'm glad I was wearing earphones, because that sound alone, I've heard it in videos, and my cats, just hearing it over the speakers, they like freak out. So, yeah. And now we have music. So I guess we take the elevator now? What about his wife?
You little shit! What have you done?
Listen to me.
Fire cleanses. Mr. Marachek, I'm gonna make sure you burn for what you and your friends have done to me. To my own!
No, please. I have nothing to do with this.
You won't get much further. Goodbye.
Where is she, Tina? Where is Rebecca?
She's in a containment area at the other end of Seed.
So what, she's being experimented on? Okay, so, I mean, first off, that dude was already trying to kill us. Closed power cell housing. Interesting. Yeah, that... And then, like, isn't the ship falling into the planet already? And the fungus is growing everywhere? Like, what's the dude's... Like, the dude is basically... He's like, what have you done? You've destroyed the ship. It's like, the ship is already going down, isn't it? Like, how do you even have food? Or is there food? You know what I mean? Like, you're experimenting on the staff. That's what I want to know. Like, you're experimenting on the staff, and they have physical access to you. It's like... I don't know, it just kind of smacks of, like, the writers didn't really think this plan out. You know, it's like... You thought... I mean, also the whole, like, what did you do? Where he asks us, it's like, how do you know a fire didn't... Well, he was listening to our conversation, that's why. But, oh, hello. But if a fire, you know, because there's... The vines are growing and they're breaking all the conduits and stuff, it's like, it's just a matter of time before they rip through an electrical cable, and the oxygen is going, and it ignites a spark, and then the whole thing goes up anyway. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised with all the growth and stuff, and all the things being ripped out of the floor and everything else, that there hasn't been something like that already. The methane, for example. It's like systems have been shut down for... It's been 3 months. Like, what are the people that are left eating anyway? I don't know. Okay, so let's explore this room, and then we basically have, looks like one way forward. Okay, the area seems to have been undergoing a renovation. We have closed power cell housing. The lithium-ion fuel cell provides high density energy storage and remote wireless charging. Dangling wires resembling nooses. It's a bit of a stretch, but okay. Power pad. High voltage wireless power pad provides a portable energy source for engineers and mechanics. Floodlight illuminates work area efficiently, giving off much needed heat. Construction plastic. Most of the room has been covered in heavy-duty plastic sheeting. Smooth surface of the metal toolbox is punctuated by shiny metal pop rivets.
Looks like this place is being expanded.
The scene was always expanding. That place scares me.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Because your daughter's in seed and that place scares me, it's like... Okay. What do I hear? Christmas music? Like, what's going on there? Oh. Omega. So... High temperature slug gun?
Maybe if it... No, that won't work.
Okay, I don't know. At least it's not a planet-side elevator filled with advertising screens. I feel like that's a reference to something, but I don't know what. You're talking about, like, is that just a statement on advertising in general, or is that like a Blade Runner thing? Anyway, let's save again, then we shall stop. Alright guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. As always guys, questions, comments, concerns, good, better, and different. I do appreciate all of them. I do read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them. I don't know how many times I've said that. I lose my mind every once in a while, and I'm tired. I'm drinking this espresso with cream. By the way, what is your guys' unique puzzle moment? This is going to be mine, the Black Rifle coffee espresso. I want to make some more coffee though here in a minute, because this is good, but it's done. Oh man. But yeah, the game, I mean, it's not bad. It's interesting. It has moments of greatness and then deep flaws. Overall, probably a 7. You know, I mean, it's not great, but that's the thing. It's the first. Bone Totem looks really interesting. And so I'm hoping the devs improved their strengths or continue their strengths and kind of eliminated some of their weaknesses and stuff. We'll see. Maybe I'll play Kane after this. I was going to do a different game, but maybe. Why not? You know? Yeah, so the coffee was my unique puzzle moment. Hopefully your guys are just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.